Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. This is the English translation of the Majlis of Hazrat Maulana Qamar Uzzaman Saheb Damat Barakatuhum, which took place on Wednesday, the 15th of Rabi'ul Awwal 1444, corresponding with the English date 12th of October 2022. Hazrat Wala is saying that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to read Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim 20 times, so many times, over and over again on different occasions. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. And taking a good omen that it is in the name of Allah that I start, that I begin, that I am taking Allah's name, who is most kind, most compassionate, most merciful. So the rahmat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will also encompass and engulf us. So Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam's hal and spiritual state was absolutely amazing. Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam sometimes, that on the smallest little thing that would happen, rather just a scratch or an itch, Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam would go on saying so many times over and over again, Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un, Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un, Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Aisha radiyallahu ta'ala anha would ask that, O Nabi of Allah, what seems to be the matter? For something so minor, so meager, you saying over and over, Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam would answer, O Aisha, you are unaware of the end result of things like this. Sometimes something so small would take place or happen, and after that the end result is so disastrous. A person's finger is amputated, his leg is amputated. Allahu Akbar. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un is such a gift and such a treasure, which is the speciality and the khususiyat of this ummah. The previous ummahs were not granted this. Ya asafa ala Yusuf, Ya asafa, oh with deep regret, oh with so much of sorrow and pain, but no words of Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. So the ayat here, وَاتَّبِعْ سَبِيلَ مَنْ أَنَابَ إِلَيْهِ, follow the path of him who turns to me. Follow the path of him who turns to me. Now, Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Sahab quoted this ayat in the fazilat and the merit of sohbat and good companionship. Now I'll tell you the likes of Hazrat Maulana Mohammad Mia Faruqi. He was a graduate of Jamia Al-Azhar. He would come and sit in the Majlis, and he says to Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Sahab that, Hazrat, I never ever heard this particular ayat being quoted under the topic of the virtue of good companionship and company. Allahu Akbar. So وَاتَّبِعْ سَبِيلَ مَنْ أَنَابَ إِلَيْهِ, follow the path of him who makes inabat, who turns to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So one is to follow the path, and then just not the path of anyone, rather the path of that one who has made his inabat correct with Allah, who has turned correctly and totally and completely to Allah. Allahu Akbar. Hazrat Sayyidina Rifai used to say that मैं अपनी inabat सही कर चुका. I have made my inabat and my turning to Allah correct. I have turned completely and totally to Him. Therefore, you also come to my door. So your inabat and your turning to Allah can also be rectified and can be completely and totally correct. Allahu Akbar. So inabat, you know the ayat is very, very common, and we all know about it, is famous. إِلَّا مَنْ أَتَى اللَّهَ بِقَلْبٍ سَلِيمٍ, that on the day of Qiyamah, no wealth and children would be of benefit to any person except for the one who comes to the court of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with a sound heart. a sound heart, free from all spiritual diseases, ailments, niroga. Today, how many snakes are setting away in our hearts? What and what is filled in our hearts? Neist bimari jo bimari dil. There is no ailment, sickness, spiritual disease. There can be nothing like the ailment of the heart. Ala inna fil jasadi la mudgha. Idha saluhat saluhal jasadu kullu. Behold, there is a piece of flesh in the body. Ala wahiya al-qalb. That is the heart. If that is correct, then the entire body would be correct. And if not, it is corrupt, then the entire body would be corrupt. But unfortunately, alas, today there is no attention to the Islah and the reformation of the heart. We're just coming from the same path. We're just coming from this type of a thing. I went with on Safar for this year, for him. And in one day, 650,000 had been spent. 650,000, 6.5 lakhs. Now, that is for this heart, right? You had to do it, this was it, the other. But I am trying to say, the spiritual heart, there is no attention and no importance to it whatsoever. So Hazrat Maulana Muhammad Ahmad Saheb used to make this tarjuma, the tarjuma of Shaykh ul-Hind, Niroga Dil, that the heart that is free from sound, safe from all spiritual maladies, ailments and sicknesses. You know what to say? You people are young. Ab sab jawan hai. Mere jaane ka waqt hai. It is time for me to leave. It is time for me to go. Maulana Mujibullah Nadwi, he went to so many places, here, there, but he never stuck anywhere. But he said also in the end that Maulana Shah Wasiullah Sahab ne mujhe pakar liya. Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Sahab has caught me. He has captivated me. He has grabbed me. I'm just stuck here with him. Allahu Akbar. Today we have to also see whose inabat, whose turning to Allah has been made correct, and whose ruju' to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is correct. So I was saying that he says that nobody has spoken about sohbat under this particular ayat. So ittiba is also necessary, and a person whose inabat to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has been made, he has turned completely to Allah, inabat, ruju, that is also necessary. So we learn that the companionship of the pious is absolutely important. And this is the message that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us of sohbat in Surah Fatiha. Sirat al-ladina an'amta alayhim, the path of those whom you have favored. And who is that path? The path, which path? That's the path. The path of the ones that you have favored, the path of the righteous, the path of the pious. And Allah Ta'ala is not satisfied with that, but He still goes on to say that is the path. But for emphasis, غَيْرِ الْمَغْضُوبِ عَلَيْهِمْ وَلَا الضَّالِّينَ, not the path of those who have the path of those who you are angry with. وَلَا الضَّالِّينَ, Ameen, and the path of those who have gone astray. The path of those who have gone astray. I was in Gorakhpur and I was giving a bayan and I spoke about Surah Fatiha on this point of sohbat. And there were prominent people, there were alims there also. And this person then comes and then he says that whatever i'tiraz I had and objections I had, this alim is saying, that you have cleared it up all in the ayat of Surah Fatiha. Ihdina sirat al-mustaqim, sirat al-ladina an'amta alayhim. You know, he put all the kitabs this way and that way, and he said, I am coming after Isha to take the pledge, bay'ah, at your hands. Allahu Akbar. Now Ibn al-Qayyim has written in Madarij al-Salikin, a kitab, in 2 to 3 volumes he has written, Madarij al-Salikin, fi iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. The name of the kitab, okay, that's more or less, that's the name of the kitab, Madarij al-Salikin, fi iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Now Hazrat Tanvi has said that I am giving testimony to this fact and shahadat that Ibn Qayyim specifically baqa'ida, step by step, in a very meticulous manner, he has completed the different darajat of suluk and tasawwuf. And then Ibn Qayyim himself is saying and giving shahadat about his ustad Ibn Taymiyyah regarding the very, very same aspect, that baqaida he has completed the different darajat and he has threaded this path of suluk and tasawwuf and reached Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You know, till about maybe 2 in the morning, last night, till 2 o'clock, 2 a.m., I was sitting and seeing this kitab. You know, any kitab that comes, every kitab that comes, I pick it up. I go through it. Now this year, this tafsir that I am reading from, Anwarul Bayan of Maulana Ashiq Ilahi, Anwarul Bayan, fi kashfi asraril Quran. You know, people that have weak capability, weak istiadat, people like me. This is a very, very nice, wonderful kitab for people like us. You know, it was my intention. I even mentioned this to Hazrat Mohammad Ahmad Saheb, and he had even written some type of introduction for me already at that time for this kitab that I was going to compose. I have it with me, that introduction, that taqreez, the foreword that he had written on that preface on that kitab. And when my eyes fell on this particular kitab of Hazrat Maulana Ashiq Ilahi, Anwarul Bayan fi Asraril Quran, then I said to myself, and I even abandoned my intentions, and I said, now this is sufficient. This is sufficient. You know, I went to Maulana Ali Miya Saheb, Hazrat Wala is saying, and then he said, oh, I just written and composed one kitab, and I even distributed it in regret. He was saying that because he wanted to give me one. So I said to him, Hazrat, I purchased it. So he said, how did you do that? You purchased it. And I said, Hazrat, there was a need for me. I needed that kitab and I purchased it. And then Hazrat Wala then addresses the people in his assembly there, saying that we have a need to purchase a skipper and a vest, the vest that we wear on the inside. There's a need for it. Socks, there's a need for it. Mozas, you purchase it, you buy it. Now tell me, is there no kitab? Is there no need to purchase a kitab? Allahu Akbar. So Maulana Mujibullah Nadwi, he also then came to Maulana Muhammad Ahmad Saheb, and he was bestowed and blessed with the mantle of Khilafat. Maulana Taqiyuddin also came, and he was also blessed with the mantle of Khilafat. Maulana Muhammad Ahmad Saheb used to say, he was at Dr. Abrar's place, and then he left from there, and then he said, I'm going to Baytul Ma'arif. And then he addresses me and he says, Maulana, I'm coming to your madrasa, and I'm going to stay there so that everybody can come to your madrasa. Allahu Akbar. Who will come to my maktab? Hazrat is saying, who will come to my madrasa? But Maulana Muhammad Ahmad came, and everybody, all the mashayikh, the shuyukh, the fuqaha, the muhaddiseen, whoever it was of this time, all then assembled. He spent 4 years at my madrasa. He came and he stayed there with us. You know, Sayyidina Abdul Qadir Jilani used to say that whoever passes by this aisle and this gully or this alley of my madrasa, Allah Ta'ala makes such a person a Saheb nisbat. That was his dua. And this is my dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as well. Hazrat Wala is saying that whoever comes to my madrasa here, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make him a sahib and nisbat. What can I say? Maulana Muhammad Ahmad Saheb, Maulana Ali Mia Saheb, Maulana Habibur Rahman Azmi, Maulana Abrar al-Haq, Hakim Akhtar, and even others, all at one go, present at the masjid here, at our madrasa here, at Baitul Ma'arif, and all of them are sitting, absolute pin drop silence from Maghrib right till Isha, one looking at the other, saying, no, you say something, and all of them having so much of adab for the next, and not saying one word, so much of lihaz and consideration for one another, and this is how the entire time is passed from Maghrib right up till Isha. Allahu Akbar. So is a great personality I'm speaking about here. Maulana Ashiq Ilahi, Buland Shahri Muhajir Madani, the author of Anwarul Bayan fi Asraril Quran. He is the Khalifa also of Hazrat Shaykh al Hadith, and I met him in Madina Munawwara. Now look at the kitab also, so small the writing. I don't know how people even print kitabs. You should print it decently. Hazrat Wala is saying, look at the writing, so small. I can't even read it. Bring that other kitab there. Bring that other kitab. Asan Tarjuma of Mufti Taqi Usmani. But I want to say something. First of all, the kitab is Asan. Simplified completely. But more than that, the way that it is printed is so appealing that if a person picks it up and starts reading, he will want to carry on. There will be no taklif for him in reading it. But now you find the person then, sometimes it's printed well, and then the second time it's printed, or the third time, in the name of business and in the name of money. So now from 5 volumes, you want to make it into 3 volumes or 4 volumes, and you put it like this and you condense it, and then the print and the letters become smaller and this and that. So what are people doing? Print it, do your tijarat, etc., but do it in such a way that it will be easy for the reader. Easy for the reader. So, मैं सहल पसंद आदमी हूँ. I like things that are easy, simplified, and easy to read as well. So Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Sahab used to say, Quran se bharkar koi wise hai? Is there anything, any greater admonition more than the Quran? Now you had Maulana Mujibullah Nadwi, people like this here who were there, who were affected by things like this here. Allahu Akbar. Hazrat Maulana Shah Fadlur Rahman Ganj Muradabadi, people used to go to him, Hazrat, here's a kitab on tasawwuf, and he would say, no, the Quran is sufficient for me. In the Quran, Allah speaks about so many different sifat. Allah Ta'ala speaks about shukr. Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala speaks about sabr. And what can we say? If we condense it there, these are the 2 wings of insan and man. By means of these 2 wings, sabr and shukr, this person gains closeness and flies to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. So it is our saying, and I'm quoting, وَاتَّبِعْ سَبِيلَ مَنْ أَنَابَ إِلَيْهِ. Follow the path of him who has made inabat to me. The path of him who has turned to me. Now we go through it quickly. Those people who have turned to my path, जो लोग मेरे रास्ता की तरफ रुजू करे, उनका इत्तिबा करना. Those who have turned to my path, follow them. उसमें नेक बनने और नेकियों पर साबित कदम रखने का तरीका बता दिया. So in this particular ayat, to become good and to be established on good, the tariqah and the path of it has been shown in this particular ayat. And what is that? It is that those bandas and servants of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who have made ruju' and turned to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala completely, follow them. Now the mizaj and the temperament, the nature of man is the nature of man is that वो सोहबत से मुतासिर होता है, that he is influenced by company. बुरे आदमियों में आना जाना रखता है तो उनका असर ले लेता है. So evil company also has its effects. He sits with evil people and then he takes the effects there. और अगर सालिहीन के पास आता जाता है, उनकी मजलिसों में उठता बैठता है, तो नेकी की तरफ तबीयत चलने लगती है. Now when he starts coming and going with good people, standing and sitting with them, associating with them, sitting in their company, so then what happens? His tabiyat now starts getting inclined. It starts getting inclined towards good. So this good company produces good effects. Good effects. लिहाजा इंसान पर लाजिम है, therefore it is necessary on इंसान कि जो लोग अल्लाह ताला की तरफ रुजू करते हैं उनकी बताई हुई राह पर चले. Those who have turned and made ruju to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they should follow the path that these people have shown, or these people are offering and showing. उन्हीं के साथ रहे, stay with them, और इनका इत्तिबा करे and follow them. And if not, what's going to happen? Warna shaitan uchak lega. Shaitan will pick him up and throw him onto the wrong path. وَاتَّبِعْ سَبِيلَ مَنْ أَنَابَ إِلَيْهِ. Now you know this safar also. I'm going to be traveling. Fatehpur, I want to go back to the Khanqah. The Khanqah of Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Saheb. I don't know if I would get an opportunity again. The silsila and this pattern and this, what we are setting, this majlis every day, Allah Ta'ala let it continue. And Allah Ta'ala bless me with ikhlas, that it is carried out with ikhlas. You people also come. And you attend. Alhamdulillah. وَاتَّبِعْ سَبِيلَ مَنْ أَنَابَ إِلَيْهِ. Follow the path of him. Which person? Not just that path of the person who is good or this or that, but that person who has made inabat and ruju, who has turned to me. Follow that person's path. And if not, then unfortunately you are going in the wrong direction and you are going to go in the path of جهنم. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم بحرمة سيد النبي الكريم صلى الله عليه وسلم.